Hey everyone, it's Maria, and today I wanted to talk to you about the books that I have finished. I know I've been gone for a while. I'm okay with that. I've been doing a lot of things around the house and for the kids and for homeschool and the family that needed to happen. So no apologies. I'm standing by my decision. However, I did want to come back and talk to you about what I've been reading. So I was a little bit reading slumpy this summer just because, again, we had a lot going on. So I've been reading a lot of shorter books, more beautifully illustrated books lately, just to kind of climb out of that rut. I am listening to Roots on audio, as well as reading East of Eden for this. I'm trying to get through it again. My first copy was stolen. It was a whole big thing. Anyway, those are the longer books that I'm reading, but these are the shorter ones that I have finished and I wanted to share with you. First up is The Prince and the Dressmaker. This is written and illustrated by Jen Wang. She also did a book I read called In Real Life by Cory Doctorow. All of her illustrations are just on point. They're very fun, but she always tackles kind of bigger issues in her writing, which I really like. So in this one, The Prince and the Dressmaker, the prince is a client for this dressmaker, and instead of preparing clothes that she thought she would be making for the prince, he has asked for her to make him dresses, beautiful dresses, so he can kind of have an alter ego. And I'm not giving really anything away because it's on the back of the book. I don't want to say too much, but Prince Sebastian is trying to deal with how he fits in being who he is as a royal who is eventually going to take over the throne. Will his parents accept him? Will he find love? All kinds of questions that he's dealing with. And then there's the dressmaker who really, she wants to have her dresses seen by everybody. She's very proud of her work, but she is just a lowly dressmaker, and she's trying to kind of find her niche in the world and her own identity. And it's kind of about that struggle, about friendship, about letting your friends be who they are, learning from them. Anyway, it was really fun. The dresses in here are also super fun. It kind of made me want to like get all dressed up and go out on the town in something very fabulous with a big wig or something. Probably won't happen, but it made me think like that. Sorry if the light's really weird. The sun's doing this like crazy thing, so I'll move you over. Next up is A Life Less Throwaway, The Lost Art of Buying for Life. This is by Tara Button. She is the founder of Buy Me Once, which is a company that she started to try and come up with an online presence for people who are searching to buy things that will last a lifetime instead of all this planned obsolescence of buying something and then having it break 2 years down the road. So this book was very thought-provoking. I'm wrapping up very close. I have one more month of my no buying extras year. So I haven't purchased, I've bought one book for myself, which was a necessity actually. That's a whole other thing I'll talk about. I've only replaced clothes that I've worn through or grown out of that I needed to have bought. Mostly I have just not been buying extras, and it's been really kind of an interesting mind-altering year, which I will do it in another video sometime, but probably next month when I'm finishing it up. This was a book that kind of inspired me to finish strong and to think hard about going forward how I want to make buying decisions. One of the solutions in here that she talks about that I really liked was called creating an unwish list. This is a list of things that you carry with you to kind of say, I definitely don't need to purchase this. I definitely don't need more art supplies or more clothes or jeans or jewelry because I have enough. And I thought this was kind of a cool way of taking gratitude and utilizing it in a way to minimize not only your impact on the world, but also to just sit where you are and be happy. And I don't know, I really liked this book. I thought it was really cool. I did check out her website. There wasn't really anything on there that I needed to replace, honestly. So she does talk about how a lot of times people who are trying to move towards the sustainable purchases or whatever throw away whatever they have than to purchase whatever is more sustainable, and that's not really what you need to do either. You just need to take what you have and work with it, and then if you do decide that yes, I am missing something, then you can purchase that, but think through it. Don't just run out to the store and get whatever you find. So that was another fun book. The next one is give a, doesn't have the I in there, and I won't read it just in case your parents, or your parents, my dad probably is listening, in case your kids are listening. Do Good, Live Better, Save the Planet. Ashley Piper wrote this. It was a fun book. It did talk about sustainability a little bit. It had some fun cleaning recipes in there. Talks about, I guess there's also some other recipes in there. Nothing mind-altering in here. I knew a lot of the information, but it was a fun, just quick read to kind of, again, remember why I'm doing what I'm doing for my lifestyle, why I'm trying to cut back on things. She does have some quick hints at the end. She does give some great resources and definitely some fun facts in here. Well, I don't know how fun they are. Some of them are pretty sad, but facts about why it is important to kind of change what you were doing. So I liked it, but it wasn't like the most mind-bending book ever. This one was great. This is another nonfiction. It's Most Likely to Succeed, Preparing Our Kids for the Innovation Era by Tony Wagner. He is one of those authors that if he writes a book, I'm on it. I'm going to read it right away. He wrote Creating Innovators and The Global Achievement Gap, both books I have done rereads of. He has a great way of giving information, inspiring you to change things, and especially when it comes to innovating how we educate. And I'm a nerd for that kind of thing. I'm always here for that. So in this book, he talks about kind of some of the issues that we have in our education system, whether it's assessments or teaching atmosphere, and what we need to do to change them. And he's done that in some of his other books, but I don't feel like they're repetitive. I feel like he does a good job of covering new information while sticking true to his overall mission of teaching better. One of the big takeaways from here that I really liked was the idea of talking less as a teacher and listening more and creating more student-led discussion, and not only assessing how good their answers are, but how good their questions are. I will probably talk a lot more about this book at some point in the near future when I talk about some of my mind shifts in education philosophy, but this is a good one, especially if you're a parent or an educator. I really recommend picking up any of Tony Wagner's book. He's great. Next up is The Last Girl on Earth. This is a whim pickup from the library. It is written by Alexandra Blogier. I think I tried to look up how to say her name, but I couldn't figure it out. This is a YA, very short book. I think I read it in 1 or 2 sittings. It is about a girl who lives with I think it's the Abdelorians. I just thought it sounded like DeLorean, so that's how I'm going to pronounce it. And she has a father, a sister that she lives with. But what people on the planet don't know, and they are living on Earth, is she is a human. She is what she thinks is the last human. Humans have been wiped out because of various things that we did to the planet. And the Abdelorians, including her scientist father, helped save her. So she is working through this kind of training initiative program to figure out where she's going to progress and go on. Is she going to another planet? Is she going to become an officer? What is her fate in this new world as an adult? Nobody knows what she is, and she's kind of trying to work through her feelings about not fitting in, but also trying to survive because if people find out, she is in danger, as well as her family. And there's a little bit of a love story in here as well. I thought it had some good questions. I thought it was an interesting premise. The ending I felt like was rushed, and while I definitely was surprised by some of the actions, I think they did match up with what the characters would have done. I wanted to know more, so I felt like the book was a little bit shorter than I would have liked. I wanted more things hashed out. The ending felt abrupt to me, but it was all right. And then I did read, this is another one setting, Paper Wishes by Lois Sababin. I had kind of conflicting feelings about this because I've wanted to read it for a while. It's a middle grade book. It is not written by an own voices author, which I normally try to steer into, but I've read so many good things about it, I wanted to pick it up. It is about the Japanese internment camps that happened in World War II she did a very good job of telling the story, and I think it stuck to most of the facts that I knew about it. She does have an author's note at the back that talks about what was fictional and what was actually researched, so I appreciated that. It made me want to find more adult stories written from actual survivors of people who went to these internment camps. I didn't realize, well, I guess I never really knew exactly how many years, but 3 years, three to 4 years were these internment camps. And it just blows my mind that this is a thing that happened, and that, yeah, it still doesn't really get talked about as much as it should be. I don't think a lot of adults even really know about it. And so it was a really good middle grade book. It didn't, well, there were some scary things that happened in it. I feel like a kid who maybe was 10 to 12 could feel okay reading it. They might have some questions about it, definitely. But I didn't feel like it was so horrific that and hopeless that a kid could not get through it. So again, it was real short, but I thought it was a good read. If you know of any great Japanese internment stories, put them in the comments below, because I'm definitely looking. And then finally, I'm halfway through, well, not halfway through, we're slowly working through our read aloud this month. One of them is the Phantom Tollbooth. I love this book. This book is a great book for any reader. There's so many great word plays, and I'm just really liking this book. So this is my plug for, if you haven't read Phantom Tollbooth, pick it up. I will definitely be doing a whole thing on it later. So that's another one I'm in the middle of. So that is what I've been working on reading. I would love to know if you've read any of these, if you have any good suggestions, again, on Japanese internment books or other books to get you out of a reading slump. I picked up several short ones, and I'm hoping that'll help. So I will talk to you later. Bye.